Before the horn soared, before the groove locked in, someone had to imagine the sound. Earth, Wind & Fire wasn't just a band, it was a feeling. A feeling built from layers, texture, and vision. Behind that sound stood a quiet architect, a keyboardist who didn't chase the spotlight but shaped everything around it. Some musicians play notes, while others create worlds. This is a story of a man who painted Earth, Wind & Fire in sound. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Larry Dunn. Now, if you guys love my videos and love supporting me, then I suggest you become a member of the channel where I will be releasing exclusive videos just for you all. Be sure to get that family tier so you won't miss out on these exclusive perks. If you guys would love to connect with me outside of YouTube, then I am officially announcing that I am on Discord. Here, you can provide me with feedback on my recent uploads. You could drop your suggestions for future videos, or if you just want to chat it up about videos or about music in general, or just about anything, we could do it here. We could do it together. I hope to see you there. Now, before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more content. Now, without further ado, let's cue that intro. Born Lorenzo Russell Dunn on June 19, 1953 in Denver, Colorado. Dunn was born into a world where music was both discipline and imagination. Growing up in Denver, he was drawn early to the keyboards, fascinated by their ability to sound like everything at once. Classical training gave him his structure, jazz gave him his freedom, and soul gave him a feeling. Unlike many musicians who chase the spotlight roles, Larry was more interested in texture, how sounds blended, how moods were created, and how music could feel cinematic. That mindset would become his signature. He grew interested in music and eventually attended East High School in Denver, Colorado. He began playing in local bands at the age of 13, and by the time he was 15 years old, he was frequently performing at a nightclub that was owned by Denver Rockets basketball player Rain Hightower. Despite being underage, Dunn and his colleagues, including future collaborators like Philip Bailey, was allowed to play 7 times a week. They performed songs by James Brown, Dionne Warwick, Santana, and The Temptations, among others. Dunn co-founded the band Friends and Lovers with Bailey, Andrew Woolfolk, and others when he was 16 years old. The group opened up for Earth, Wind & Fire's early lineup. After the founding members of Earth, Wind & Fire left, Bailey approached Maurice White to propose Dunn. Dunn eventually joined Earth, Wind & Fire, and he became one of the band's original members in the classic lineup. When Dunn crossed paths with Maurice White, something just clicked immediately. Maurice had a spiritual vision. Larry had a sonic imagination to bring to life. Earth, Wind & Fire wasn't meant to be another funk band. It was designed as an experienced cosmetic, uplifting, grounded in rhythm, but expansive in scope. Larry became the band's chief architect behind the keyboards, shaping arrangements, textures, and harmonic depth into what set Earth, Wind & Fire apart from every other group from that era. Larry Dunn's role went far beyond playing keyboards. He built layered arrangements, experimented with synthesizers, and balanced organic instruments with futuristic textures. From lush string-like pads to sharp rhythmic stabs, Larry's sound was wrapped around Verdine White's bass and Fred White's drummings. This gave Earth, Wind & Fire their signature warmth and depth. You didn't always notice the keyboards, but you felt them everywhere. In the 70s and early 80s marked Earth, Wind & Fire's golden era, and Larry Dunn was the center of it all. On albums like The Way of the World, Spirit, I Am, and All in All, showcase his ability to blend sophistication with accessibility. Songs such as Fantasy, September, After the Love Has Gone, and Boogie Wonderland carry layers of keyboard work that elevated the emotion without overpowering the groove. Larry knew when to lead and when to disappear into the mix. Behind the scenes, Larry Dunn was a stabilizing force. As a producer and arranger, he helped shape not only Earth, Wind & Fire's sound, but also the professionalism of the recordings. His calm demeanor and musical clarity made him a trusted presence in the studio. While others was front-facing stars, Larry led through preparation and vision, ensuring that every record sounded intentional, polished, and timeless. Dunn produced albums for other acts such as Caldera, Ramsey Lewis, Lenny White, 29, Stanley Turrentine, and Level 42. As synthesizers became more prominent in popular music, Larry Dunn embraced them, not as gimmicks, but as tools for expression. He understood technology, not as a replacement, but as an expansion. His approach allowed Earth, Wind & Fire to evolve without ever losing their soul. That balance of innovation is why Earth, Wind & Fire music still feels fresh, even decades later. In the mid-80s, Larry Dunn stepped away from the band, marking the end of an era. His departure shifted Earth, Wind & Fire's sonic identity. While the group continued, many lifelong fans noticed the difference in the textures, the depth, and the cinematic warmth. Larry, along with other members of Earth, Wind & Fire, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in March of 2000. Larry and his wife has been working on production projects since 1988. Including creating music for Japanese television advertisements, films, and studio work, most of whom has only aired in Japan. In line with his goal of reaching as many people as possible through music, he published his debut solo album titled Lover's Silhouette. This album combines modern music with new age with a hint of funk. Larry released his second album titled Into the Journey. Larry's influence, however, was already prominent. He may not always been the most visible name, but his sound is everywhere. In the lush R&B ballads, in the layered funk grooves, in music that feels expansive and intentional, Larry Dunn didn't chase attention. He built atmospheres. He shaped emotion, and he made music feel larger than itself. Now, before we go, I have a few questions for you all. What is your favorite song by Larry Dunn? Or what is your favorite song that Larry Dunn produced?